This one here, Scarred, was sent to me recently by E1 Entertainment. It's also a combination sort of release with Origin Films. Really indie slasher film, which is not a bad thing at all when I say that, because that is primarily what I deal with more times than not. It's here recently, like I get a lot more studio titles and stuff to talk about or write about on the site, but basically the website cut its teeth in stuff like this, so I'm used to seeing these type of films, and I understand that right off the bat that the majority of you probably that really love the more mainstream type stuff or maybe more well-known type stuff, this isn't going to be your type of horror film. But if you do like really low-budget horror films, slashers to be more precise, I think you'll like Scarred. You may not love it, but I think you'll like it because it pretty well follows the format you're supposed to have with a slasher. It's got a big mass killer. It's got a bunch of hot women off in the middle of nowhere getting killed by this killer. People get naked. People get bloody. So when you add those things into it, pretty well by the book, but it's acceptable, it's passable, it's fun. It ain't great by any means, but it gets the job done where it needs to, more or less. It even has Sean Phillips in it, so there you go. If you like Cool Duder, maybe pick it up for his little part in there. So basically, it's just like these chicks are going to this like old location where the Candy family with a K used to live for a photo shoot, and they're just getting naked, posing around, sleeping together, all that type of stuff, and this killer's running amok on them. Also along for the ride is this one comedic guy. I don't know his name, but he's like the comic relief because he's there just trying to recruit women for his movie that he wants to make or get money so he can hire a name for his movie. So that's where he plays part in there. He's pretty funny, more or less. But also at the same time, you have a dwarf, I believe is the proper name for it, that is running around, and she knows this guy here is alive, but her dad and stuff seems to think that she's just making it up, and he gets really aggressive with her regarding it because he thinks she's lying, and that plays a part into it later. I don't want to spoil anything, but all that comes and plays a part in it later. It's got some bizarre parts like that, like that's a little out of left field, but it adds a little bit of a different element or an angle maybe for it that it maybe wouldn't have otherwise. Like I said, it's typical slasher, but it's a typical indie slasher. So if you've seen a lot of no-budget or low-budget horror films, then you know what you're getting here. It's not going to win any Academy Awards for acting. It's not going to get any effects awards, although it does have some pretty nice ones sometimes, and sometimes they kind of fall flat. The killer, he's a big killer with a mask, which is pretty well a good thing to have for a slasher, even if it's not the most memorable one. I believe this killer's name is Jonah Candy, which maybe it's far away from Jason Voorhees, but at least they tried, and we got to appreciate that. Like I said, I enjoyed it more or less, like an hour and 20 minutes, an hour and 25 minutes, something like that. So it doesn't really wear out its welcome. I enjoyed it enough. I don't know when I'll go revisit it or if I will or not, but I've seen a whole lot worse slasher films that were made of the no-budget, low-budget variety. So if you like that type of stuff, I would say give this one a go, which this one's actually available at Walmart. Pretty cheap. I think maybe it was $14 or less like that at Walmart. So it actually got into Walmart if you want to take a chance on something that you maybe haven't heard of that's really indie. Like I said, I want to stress that. Don't go looking for something with a big budget now and then come back to me and say, well, this movie sucked and it was shot funny or it looked funny or it didn't have no names in it. Just don't do it. Although, well, speaking of names, it does have Ari Lehman in it. First Jason, he's here for a small role, and it's actually an entertaining role. So he wasn't just here collecting a paycheck like a lot of names like to do. He does seem like he actually enjoyed his work, and he's fun in this, so I enjoyed that. So more or less, it was fun. Maybe it's more of a party movie, get a bunch of friends around and watch it. But if you just really love slashers, then why not? Like I said, just don't go expecting Friday the 13th, and you should be okay.